Welcome back to another episode of Can Blue, a hockey podcast covering the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. I'm Ben on the Rangers side.
Brendan, the Habs side.
And we are back with a little bit more energetic, at least from my side, a little more energetic episode. Last week we were both hurting and nursing, I think. Something. Hangover, whatever it was.
Oh, yes.
Last week.
Yeah, last week. That's for sure.
And now I think this week Brendan is nursing a hangover of bad games played. And
probably one of the worst stretches in a long time because it's all happening so fast, which I'll describe later, but we won 0 games this week, so I'm very upset. It's absolutely terrible.
So on the other side of that,
You guys are winning.
Rangers are winning. So I feel like we're always coming on. One team is having a
It's
horrible.
flip-flopping.
Yeah,
It's flip-flopping.
we're totally opposites, inverse of each other. But before we get to that, let's go around the league. A couple of the big quick hitter news items. Jack Hughes was at a dinner with, if you're familiar with Frank the Tank from Barstool, it's like big guy who's like a Mets fan and a Devils fan and like a Miami Dolphins fan, and is famous for freaking out and crashing out online. He had some birthday dinner and the Devils came, and this was the dinner that Jack Hughes fell on I guess a piece of glass and slit his pinky open. So like he's out for.
So it was specifically his pinky.
Yeah, I think so. That's what the reports were saying, and so he's out for 8 weeks. 2 months, 8 weeks, 2 months.
Was it chopped off? Like, how is that possible?
I think it must have been a deep cut, and like think about how much you use your hands in the game, and he's a player that has one of the better hands in the league. So he's out 8 weeks. It's kind of like this kid hasn't played a full 82 game season ever in his career. The one time he was the closest, he scored 99 points. So it's definitely a loss for the Devils. I feel like every year they're just waiting for that hat to drop of when does Hughes get hurt. And hopefully for them, I mean, not for me as a Rangers fan, but hopefully for them, he gets back soon, and then that's the only injury he has to deal with this year because they definitely need him if they're going to make a long playoff run.
It sucks when it's actually an avoidable injury.
Yeah, I mean, that's so dumb.
Especially when you're I imagine they were partying.
Well, at a dinner, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was totally avoidable. It's not like Emil Heineman getting hit by a car or something like that.
There was a Mets player that got attacked by a boar or something, or Yoenis Cespedes.
Wait, where was he?
I mean, on his ranch somewhere. I think Yoenis Cespedes fell off his ATV or something and missed the season or part of the season.
Wow.
So crazy.
Wow.
So it's not to that level, I guess. With
but everyone's hating on Jack because it's like he's so fragile and
it's true.
And
I kind of believe it.
He does get injured every year, as you said, so it sucks to see, just such a simple thing could have been avoided. I don't know.
Yeah. Another injury, and it's kind of been a theme for the player that injured him. So Austin Matthews is out for a little while. It was on I think it was a pretty, was it high or was it from behind? I think it was from behind into the boards. Nikita Zadorov on the Bruins. He was going after Schaefer and some of the Isles players. I remember Isles fans texting me saying Zadorov is such a goon, doing all that. So he does a similar thing to Austin Matthews, and now he's out for, do you know how long? A couple weeks?
Yeah, I think 4 weeks.
Yeah, a lot of injuries this week. Brendan, I'm sure we'll get into it because half the Habs seem to be on the IR
just on the Zadorov thing, first we played up against the Bruins for the first time this season, and the first thing that happens on center ice is a fight between Struble and Zadorov. Not sure if Struble won, but it was just a good kind of message to get the game started because that one was full of physicality, and we were both in it.
How about the Bruins? I feel like, why are they still always just in the mix? It's so annoying. I feel like you
got these random named players that are somehow scoring. Yeah, Geeky, and then there's that guy that starts with a K. I forget, and he's playing on the first line with Costa or something. I don't know, some Russian or Eastern European guy. And maybe it's a new coach. Maybe because they don't have Marchand anymore. I don't know.
Maybe. You never know. All right, last thing that I can think of is the Adrian Kempe signing. So, winger on the Kings, he signed for $10.5 million for 8 years. Big, I'd say, as far as free agents go. The list keeps getting lower or smaller and smaller. The biggest one now, at least by cap hit or projected cap hit would be Artemi Panarin. Still, I
Unsigned.
guess for now, planning on going into free agency. It remains to be seen what's gonna happen there because it depends where the Rangers are in the standings and how they're playing. He has, since the bald head, like I've talked about, been playing
Really
so much
well.
better.
Lights out.
He just has like the quiet 4-assist night, and you're like, dude, what? He's just in every goal. So, but you look across the rest of the league, and it's like a bunch of 30-plus-year-old forwards that you're like, I don't know if a team like the Rangers, for example, would want to add that to their roster. Like, personally, I don't think so. For a team like the Habs, if they're in the right spot at the end of the year, maybe a third-line center would do a lot for them, who's like 30, 33, you know? But
Yeah,
as
at this
opposed
point,
to
that
where
would
we're
be a
at.
big hit for us, actually, at
Well,
this
because I
point.
think, like, for you've said constantly you're one of the younger teams in the league, if not the youngest team in the league. So having a little bit of veteran leadership, like a Ryan O'Reilly or like someone who can come in and like play that third line center role, but then also play up and down and like knows how to play that playoff style hockey could be really good. But as far as when I'm looking at that list from a Rangers perspective, I'm kind of just like,
Yeah, it
there's
doesn't
no
fit.
one I want,
Like,
except for Panarin, I
actually,
guess.
before this week, I was against the Kadri train
Oh
because
yeah.
there's like rumors of that. You know, center,
Mhm.
middle age. He also won a cup, could put up points, but you know, I thought like personality wise, it wouldn't be a fit. But now with the injuries we have, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Maybe it will do us some good.
What do you think the person, like, is he just more of a fiery type, you
Yeah,
think?
he's a bit of a fiery type.
But like that's what JT Miller was, and I feel like
He's not like Marshawn Goon, but like he could be sometimes considered that.
well, he's gotten suspended before for sure in the
Yeah,
playoffs for doing things, but I think that's like heart on your sleeves kind of guy. I feel like they could Kadri is close to, is he a 100-point player? Has he been? He's
I
got to
think
be
close.
close, yeah.
Definitely close.
So
Definitely close.
I would take, I mean,
At this point, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm actually very
Yeah.
much open to it
Well, yeah.
because we're hurting right
Yeah,
now, hurting bad.
exactly. Okay, so I guess we'll move on to just Rangers games of the week, and then we'll finish up with Habs games. Uh, I'll try to keep it upbeat for
Yeah,
mine.
well,
I do think there's key points to pick apart, but if we start with the first game Monday against Nashville Predators at home, lot going into this game. This is coming, I think, right after the Islanders' loss at home, 5-0. Gabe Perreault gets called up. Trocheck is in the mix. And it just, you see the roster getting released and you're like, okay, this actually looks like the team that I was expecting to see. You have top six, looks like a legitimate top six with like one question mark in Gabe Perreault, your young prospect. And then you have Trocheck at your second line center, and then that moves Will Cooley down to the third line, which makes that third line stronger overall. So it looks like it's going to be
where did Gabe
positive.
fit in?
He went first line.
First
They
line.
put him first line automatically with Zibanejad and Miller, which I like because like you have pretty much two centers playing with the younger kid. And I guess my thoughts on that game, the Rangers looked like the more dominant team to start. They got a couple power plays early, but the first thing that happened was a Zibanejad kind of like partial half breakaway, and he roofs it on Saros. So that's key. You got to get that
There you
first
go,
goal
Mika.
early in a game at home where you have not been able to score. I do think this is one of those games where if he missed that for some reason, it very easily could have just been like a 3-0 loss the other way, because that's how these
Okay.
games have been going, where if they don't score on key, open, like clear opportunities, they just kind of crumble, or they have been crumbling, at least at home. At away, they've been able to show some versatility and be able to come back. But so that was key to get that. And then one of the early power plays, Perreault gets his first point. They put him out. I think he's obviously on the second unit, but he draws a defender to him on the half boards, kind of dishes it saucer to Lafreniere, then Lafreniere takes it in and goes 5-hole. So Lafreniere's been heating up. The guys have been scoring more. This game finishes 6-3 at home. So it's a game where
And it was your first win at
first
home.
win at home, and they scored a lot, and it was great. It was just like it felt like a monkey off the back situation,
Yeah.
but it did also feel like I think the Predators outshot the Rangers by like 30-20 or so. So the Rangers, like, it's almost like the puck luck is totally turning around, where the Rangers in the early season at home would have like 35 shots and get shut out. Now they're having like 15 to 20 shots and scoring 5 goals against like what you would think is a good goalie. Like Saros, I feel like should be one of those top goalies. He's kind of up and down on this Nashville team that has had some issues lately, but shooting percentage is high at this point. I guess some other goals that happened this game. Trocheck has a huge night. I think he had a goal and 2
good
assists.
bounce back.
So him coming back into the season for this is huge. Gavrikov had a goal. Lafreniere obviously already talked about. Panarin again is having a big night. Cooley. So these guys are all getting on the board as it should be, because it's like, oh, your top 6 is, or even top 9 is now producing. It's not just like Sam Carrick and Taylor Radish scoring all your goals. So felt good.
Yeah.
Felt good.
I'm just hurting right now. It's just we did not score a lot.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. That's what leads to wins. Okay, the next game, it was on Wednesday against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So this is another
aging team.
You're coming in, and it was away, and you're expecting, okay, you have the guys like Kucherov, Point, and who else is like on the top line there? Gensel. They have not been producing this year on a clip that you'd say is normal for them. They also are very injured at the defensive position. I think most of their guys are out. So similar situation to when we met the Carolina Hurricanes, where they had like most of their defensemen out. But you always have Big Cat Vasilevsky in net. So you're expecting a Vasi versus Igor kind of goalie game, and it was the total opposite. Vasilevsky let in like 4 goals on maybe 12 shots. And promptly got pulled in the second or third period. So it was weird. It was honestly, it goes to show like Tampa might just be struggling like a lot of other teams right now. But this was another one where Trocheck had a goal in this game that Vasilevsky literally just fell over himself, and then Trocheck just put it on net and it went in. It looked like Vasi was like just on a different planet. It was very uncharacteristic.
Dude, he's an aging goalie.
Yeah, but he's still top in the league. He's top 3.
No, I don't think he's top 3.
Oh, I think you got to put some respect on his name.
Dude, I would put Shesty over him, Hellebuck, and Oettinger easily over him.
I don't know. I think you can't rule out the Bolts just yet. They still have those guys. That's true.
Don't underestimate the Bolts, but take advantage of their oldness.
It's true. Another note on this game, Perreault was moved down to the second or third line because they were away, so they had the last shift or last change, and John Cooper was matching up their top 3 guys that I just mentioned against the Perreault, Zibanejad, and Miller line, and that's a tough matchup for a rookie against like one of the what used to be the top lines in the league. So our coach Sullivan made a switch to pull Cooley up to that line because he's a little bit bigger, more physical, and it worked. Obviously, we won the game, and it kind of dominated that, which is great from a coaching perspective because I like the fact that we now have a coach that can match what another elite coach is doing against us. Like, there's an answer for that, as opposed to when I've seen Gerard Gallant or Laviolette kind of get in those positions. There might have been a small response, but like it didn't feel like it was a well thought out plan. So seeing that sucks for Perreault that he's getting his time kind of cut, but good to see that there's a game plan to winning when something like that happens, because I think that'll be the biggest thing in the playoffs if we make it there. The matchups are key, and being able to make those decisions and changes on the fly, which obviously it seems like Sullivan can do, is great. So that was the second game, 7-3. Rangers beat the Lightning. Now we go over to Columbus, and I don't have a great sense on Columbus. Like, they have Marchenko and Fantilli, but their goalies like Jet Greaves and Merzlikins, and like I think they're better than they have been. So it's like, but I still kind of underestimate them every time. Like, I don't feel like they're that great, and I feel like we should walk in there and just like dominate them. But you forget they have some of these high skill guys, and like obviously Werenski's on the team. Yeah. So going in, it was basically a 1-1 game the entire, like, for most of the game. Marchenko scores to beat Igor, and then if I remember correctly, Zibanejad had a power play goal actually to start the game. So again, Zibanejad's shooting
Mika's
and scoring
firing
more.
it up.
I saw something online, people still ragging on Mika, saying he's only having like a B- here, like rating him with grades or whatever. He's having like as good of a year as as good of a start of a year as he's had
Yeah.
So
Expand what he's
yeah,
doing to the rest of the season, and what he's scoring over 30 easily.
he has I think 7 or 8 goals now.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
like a 40 goal
yeah,
pace.
yeah,
Like,
he's
yeah,
on it. So it was great. I mean, so this game kind of was back and forth. Again, shots are pretty similar. I think there were chances on both sides, but it really just came down to a shootout, and the shootout
yeah.
where you have Shesterkin, who he's not like the best penalty shot or shootout goalie, but he's solid, and I'd take him over Jet Greaves. Um, the one thing from this is basically game on the stick. Captain JT Miller comes in. If he scores, he wins. He kind of just takes it down, like doesn't really make a lot of moves, roofs it on Greaves, and then just like turns around and just does a little casual selly. It was sick. Captain Casual, they
Nice.
called him. It was nice. It was good to see. It was good to just like, I feel like we haven't, maybe that might have been our first game that we've won in extra time.
Really?
It feels like
In the
it.
shootout
It feels
or
like it. Yeah,
overtime?
it feels like it.
Dang.
I think so this year. We haven't gone that much. I feel like you guys have gone way more frequently to overtime, but
Yeah.
so that felt good to walk away with that. And then of course we have the next game the day after. So
Back to back.
yeah, back
So
to
wait.
back.
Oh
Igor
yeah. So you
played
got
this
so you
game,
got Quicken.
and then
Yeah.
Quick played against Detroit. And Detroit's another team where every year I'm like, I think they'll be better. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to make a run, but they're in a tough division. And the Rangers always seem to kind of have their number. So I was honestly fully expecting go in there, win like 3-0, and then get out. It was much closer than that. It was the Centennial night, so they had both
The
teams
jerseys look
wearing
really
color.
good.
It looked better than I thought I would say. Like having that light blue Rangers with like the off white against that red with the sparkly wing for the Red Wings looked so good. And then
Look
like
really good. Especially
just playing each other too. It was cool. And then at the end with
the
with the
end
brawl,
when the colors started to
they
match together. I was
literally
like,
so
dang.
at the end. So spoiler alert: the Rangers lost. Uh, Close game, but they let up a late goal. That I mean, it was a good move by Raymond, but it was kind of just come on. How do you can't give that up that late? And then they pulled their goalie. They pulled Quick, who by the way had well, so it says there were 42 shots against, and yeah, so yeah, he had 40 saves on 42 shots. Um, it's just like that's a prime Quick game, and the Rangers had like 17 shots or 19 shots or something. It's just like you scored one
I
goal.
feel
Like
like
if you
Quick
just
always
score,
gets those
yeah, he
games
does.
where he shows up, he gets a lot of
Yeah,
shots on net, but the Rangers don't put up a lot of
it's
shots in
it's
return.
great to have someone like that who like obviously he has the Stanley Cup pedigree, the winning pedigree. He, like can be there in the locker room, and like honestly, he was the one that started this fight at the end of the game because they pulled the goalie.
Who shot it, dude?
DeBrincat
DeBrincat?
DeBrincat shot the puck after the final buzzer into the empty net, and Quick like stormed onto the ice and started like throwing punches, and then everyone got off the benches, and it was just like a mesh of that light blue and red Centennial jersey in the middle.
Sick.
I don't know if that. I mean, I don't think it was planned, but I mean, it's probably pretty good for ratings for the NHL on that type of night where they're showing off these colors. And I know that they've been talking. This is a separate point. I know they've been talking about how to best utilize jerseys and jersey colors. So like, we haven't seen that frequently. The color on color matchup. It's usually a white and a color.
Yeah.
The other thing is like, I think the league has been thinking about going back to white jerseys at home and color jerseys on the road.
Really?
And the only thing that makes me think that they might do that is like if you're seeing another team come in, like it might help jersey sales because opposing team player or like a casual fan that goes to a game in Montreal, like a white jersey versus like the bright color, let's say it's a Kraken jersey that's like different or like a Sharks jersey, you might I feel like those sell better. So in different markets, the colors might sell better.
Interesting.
And I wouldn't. I mean, white at home was how it was for a long time in the
It
NHL.
was. But I do like the color.
Honestly,
It
they
just,
should just like choose like or like say half the games have to be this, half have to be this.
but then the other team would have to choose as well, technically.
At
Right?
home, I'm saying like
Oh, at
if
home.
you just choose, if you just
Oh,
chose.
I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. If the home team chooses, yeah.
But there was some like guideline that the rules set out of like, hey, like half of your home games have to be white, half of them have to be blue, and then you get like an allotment of 10 games that could be a third jersey. I think that could be cool because then you get like I don't know. For me, I do have some white jerseys, but most of them are like the Stadium Series ones that they release. Not like I have one white Fox jersey that I don't wear that often because it's just like it just doesn't. It feels like it's not their actual jersey. It's just like, oh, these are the ones we have to wear when we go on the road.
Yeah, I have like I think an Olympics one.
Like, do you have any? I feel like every new one you get is red.
We got reverse retro.
Well, yeah, well, the retro here, like that's different. Obviously, like on the retro here as well, that's different. But would you ever go out and get like a?
No, yeah, I don't have a white jersey on hand right now.
So there you go.
If I would, it would. Yeah, if I would, it would be Balduke. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay,
Although
wait,
he hasn't been playing well.
Okay, let me. Well, he got moved up to the power play, didn't he? Over Demidov.
No.
Yes, I saw that.
Today?
I saw it a couple days ago. Hang on, we'll get back to that to finish out, round out the Rangers. So DeBrincat scores first goal, power play goal. Second, we have Zibanejad for his 7th of the year on the power play again. So he's firing on all cylinders. It's 1-1 going into. I was actually listening to this last like 5 minutes on the radio after practice. Raymond just like holds it, makes a great move, kind of wheels around the net, does a Crosby-like move, and then just scores on quick. And it's like, okay, that was the 42nd shot of the game, and it goes in. And then Rangers, from again not watching it, hearing it, the radio announcers were saying that like it just seemed like the Rangers had like 6 chances with the net pulled and just couldn't get it done. And it just sucks. Like I want to believe that they can get it done in that type of situation, but they haven't done it yet this year, so they got to still work on it. That's our first loss of the week. It is at home, which isn't great. And then also you think about, there's this stat that's been going around. The Rangers haven't won a game that they've scored 1 goal or less in, but they've won every single game that they've scored more than 1 goal in. So the recipe for success for the Rangers is score 2 goals and you win the game. Yep, so like
pretty much,
based on, which is, I mean, yeah, it's just a little mind-boggling, which makes it seem like they have some more progression to the mean. So like they're still underneath where they actually should be based on puck luck, based on the skill, based on like all the analytics and things that are going into their games. So even though they're still like on the outside looking in, it seems like they could trend upward just based on some of these things going on. So overall, we'll take 3 for 1 every week.
Well, they are trending upwards.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they only have 1 win at home. So it's still like not the best.
All things considered, their placement in the standings are pretty good at this point.
What is important to note this week is I think they're going on the Mountain Time road trip. So they're going like Vegas, Colorado, and somewhere else this week. So they're away. So hopefully that means 3 more wins.
It's true, but it is also Vegas and Colorado.
True, but they are the best road team in the league.
Okay.
So
okay, I'll give you that.
It's big, and it's been fun. I guess one more roster thing to note: Perreault was eventually sent down. I think a couple days ago, which is fine. Like the fact that he's had to be pulled off some of those top line matchups, and Sullivan is recognizing.
But why is there someone else coming in?
I mean, they also called up Scott Morrow for the D on the D side, but getting Trocheck back and then having guys in reserves on the bottom 6 like Brodzinski and Parsonen and Radish and those guys, like it's easier to move Perreault down when it's like, all right, maybe he needs a little bit more seasoning because there's no like waivers that he has to go through as opposed to some of the other guys on your roster. I get it, and it's also that doesn't mean he can't get called back up in a week or if someone else gets hurt or something, but it's basically Sullivan said, there's a lot to his game. We're going to give him all these opportunities, but he needs to get a little stronger, and he needs to, it's the classic, like you're a rookie, you make some great plays and you're very good offensively, but there's some things where we can't play you on the top line against these top teams because they're just going to either injure you or pick your pocket or do all these things. So I'm fine with it. Again, I think it's like a well thought out plan. It seems like it's not just willy nilly, like, oh my God, panic, we need to get him up here so that fans don't hate us. It's like there is a process, and I'm good with that. And they also have some guys on the Hartford roster that they could still pull up. Like Brett Berard played almost all year last year on the Rangers and hasn't been called up yet. And he was one of the, like, he didn't play great early in the season, but
he hasn't played a single game.
Hasn't this year.
No, really?
Year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought he would at this point.
But he didn't have a great. I think preseason he didn't look.
He didn't
as
have
good.
a good camp.
He didn't look as good as he had. So they kind of were just like, oh, we're going to send you back. So I'm fine with it for now. Like with that limited time, the Rangers still were 3-1. It was cool to see Perreault make his debut and get a point in his first game. We'll see how it kind of goes. And then, yeah, I think some of the D are a little banged up. Nothing IR, but like a little day to day. So they called up our top D prospect, Scott Morrow, who we got in the Carolina trade with Keandre Miller. And he was up and played yesterday for, I think, in place of Borgen or Vakanine or something. So nothing. I don't think he was like the root cause of any of these of the loss. So we'll see how it kind of progresses this week. One last thing, and then I promise I'm done. The Mike Sullivan took a leave of absence for this last game. So,
oh, really?
So David Quinn was the head coach, which he was the head coach, a couple years ago for the Rangers,
right?
And now he's the assistant. So it's not clear why Sullivan left. It was like a personal matter.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was it wasn't like a celebration of a baby. It seemed like it might have been something like a death or something in the family. Nothing was released yet, so can't really make a claim, but hopefully that he comes back soon and everything's okay.
So he's not coming back for
I don't know.
right
It didn't
now?
say. I mean, I don't know when even the next game is. Probably Tuesday or okay, Tuesday they play
gone
Vegas.
until
We'll
basically
see. He might play. He might come
ready.
back Tuesday. I haven't really seen, but yeah, until he's ready. Yeah. So 3-1, I'll take it. Hopefully we do well on the road.
And well, you know what I wouldn't take is an 0 for 3.
Yep. Over to the Habs now.
I don't even know where to start, to be honest, because this week has been an utter disaster for the Habs team, for both the players and the coaches and the fans, because fans are going nuts now. They're throwing suggestions left and right.
I thought you were going to say throwing beers on the ice.
No, we're not there yet. But like calling for Marty's job and the other goalie's job.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to the actual games because I'll say briefly the LA game, 5-1 loss. Anderson scores the first goal, and then we just let up 5 in a row. They just did not come prepared and got just overwhelmed and outplayed by them. Monty had that one allowed goal where he should have covered up, and he didn't. So essentially what happened was the puck comes across his crease, and it's like going right to left. He doesn't cover, but he doesn't realize there's an attacking forward coming, and Struble assumes that Monty's going to cover it because that's like what you do.
Yeah.
But he assumed wrong, but it's not. I don't really blame on Struble. And the guy just taps it in, like it's like, bro, you should have covered. And then 7-0, a full touchdown against Dallas, and this is all at home, by the way, all at home. So 0 for 3 at home.
Oh God, the Rangers take our curse away.
And
Bell Center.
And well, for the Dallas one, that was definitely the worst one of the week, just because Newhook goes down in a seriously horrible injury. Do not watch the video. He I forgot who tripped him, but his feet go right into the boards and his ankle bends, and I'm like, oh God, he's gone for a long time.
It's like the Cam Scattaboo injury.
Is not good.
Were we together when that injury happened, Cam Scattaboo, or was that?
I think we were doing a podcast. Ugh. Yeah, don't watch it. That just ruined the whole momentum of. I mean, the whole morale. I'd rather say, just because I think it was like 1 or 2-0 then, and then they just score like 5. Like, yeah, and just like get that game over with as soon as possible. Yeah. Slav got benched a couple times, I think. And in the Boston game, they actually did show up, like in terms of like they fought hard. As I mentioned earlier, Struble fought, Jack-Eye fought, and it was 3-2 loss in regulation. It's been a blur, so forget who even scored, but the big thing with that is that we were 0 for 7 on the power play in the Boston game.
Yeah.
And 2 of those were 5-on-3. Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
You need to convert.
There was just passing. There was only passing going on. I don't know what is going on in their
So,
mind.
are you sure? I think I saw something that this is why the people were like, "Get Marty out of here!" Like, I think I saw Bolduc slotted in on the top power play unit and Demidov on the second unit.
So that probably happened because you need to switch things up.
Yeah.
One thing you mentioned earlier is that Coach Sullivan is you see the adjustment to the matching,
Mhm.
like the opposing lines, right? For the whatever team they're playing. We kind of just stick to what we got, and if anything, we move the third and fourth, like players in the third and fourth. But like the first two lines are
Well,
fixed.
it's like hard to. I mean, yeah, once it really doesn't work for an extended period of time, you have to switch it up. But when it has had success, you can't just like pull the parachute cord right at the first sign of some trouble. Like these guys have to
But
have
that
this
probably happened.
consistency.
Okay, that probably happened when the sixth or seventh power play happened. Like I can't
Six
believe I just said that.
seven, six
Dude, don't
seven.
don't do that right now.
Wow.
Well, there was 7 power
It's
plays,
true. It's
so
true.
logically, you see the first crappy 4, 5 power plays do nothing. They
Yeah.
just pass. They're not even getting any good shots on net.
Yeah.
I mean, Caulfield did score his 13th goal of the
Mhm.
season, just like on Swayman, pretty nice. But other than that, the power play went from the top 5 in the league to in November being like the worst because I think in this span of 3 games we've had like we're 1 for 15 to 16.
Yeah.
You can't like we lost the Bruins game because of the power play's inability to score. And I get why like Marty's getting asked all these questions about the power play and he's at this point he's pretty fed up. He's just like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Like
Yeah.
we're going to fix it." I believe him. And the one thing I'll say is I in terms of people have been criticizing also like the playing times of
Mhm.
people and how Marty kind of maybe favors certain players over others. I mean, that's like kind
Every
of but
coach.
every coach
Yeah.
does that. Uh and oh, he's favoring Hudson even though Hudson has been playing like dog water recently.
Mhm.
Why is he still let him play but like Balduke or other or Jack Guy gets like criticized more? But like Hudson is
The future.
the future and
Yeah.
a driving
Yeah.
part of the play. Offensively, of course, there's going to be more leeway for a star player that's playing badly. Um, but yeah, the one thing I'll say is that Balduke should have more ice time. I don't know. That's the one thing I would agree with fans with him getting more ice time. I don't know why Marty doesn't give him more ice time. Uh, I think because Doc is now gone. Like that was another shock. After the Bruins game, you just see Doc fractured ankle
Yeah.
or foot, 4 to 6 weeks out. At this point, I'm just like, what am I? How am I supposed to defend Doc? I don't know. Like it's not his fault that I don't know how it happened, but like his bones are like breaking all the time
Yeah.
and his body's breaking all the
Uh,
time. It's just the stress of the sport, and maybe particularly for him. But it's just like par for the course. Him, Gooley, Line gets injured. Gooley got surgery also. Now he's out for an additional 6 weeks or so. Newhook out for 4 months at the bare minimum
mm,
with his I think it's not broken ankle, thankfully, but it like he did have to get it
yeah.
fixed up. So
So is there like trying to see a silver lining here?
we're like, the silver
You
lining
get
I would
called
say is
up.
that we're calling up
Yeah.
some folks that um need to take advantage of
Yeah.
their opportunity in the
Yeah.
NHL. We got Joshua Waugh coming up for this game tonight in Columbus. Jared Davidson, also a draft pick of ours. He debuted his first game in the NHL against the Bruins.
Mhm.
Played really well. Played less than 10 minutes. Got 4 shots on net. Pretty good. I like this play, and I like to see him more like just more ice time from him. Just because he actually has like I think one of the most goals in Laval right now. So that's why we call him up. And well, we got like for on our D end, we got Del Gaizo coming up.
Yeah.
It's just one of those names where I kind of just roll my eyes out. It's like, okay, an extra body.
Yeah.
Let's see how he plays.
I've at least was he on the Senators at one point? Is he always?
I think
been
we
with you?
picked him up from the Predators.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
That's not good.
I mean, with Doc out now, I hope Balduke gets like some more ice time, maybe on the second with Cap and Demi. I would like maybe even the first line to be switched up because some are saying that Suzuki's playing injured, and he does look he's playing injured. He took a big fat slap shot block in Philly.
Big and fat.
In Philly.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been, the point producer that we've seen out of him.
Yeah, but I mean, this is where it's like,
but they're just all in a slump. They're like,
that's how the Rangers were, but also like you can't expect if Suzuki was on like 150-point pace over 4
I
games.
know.
It's like,
we could be.
dude, he's gonna have 5 games where he doesn't score.
It's
okay.
wishful thinking. Okay. Yeah, but we haven't. But like we scored 3 times in these 3 games and getting outscored. Basically 12, 15. 3 to 15.
Yeah.
That is not good.
So
that's terrible.
But power play. So that speaks to a couple things. One, I want to hear your take on the goalie situation because I have a thought.
Yes. Yeah.
And then 2, like I just went through the Rangers' goals and games. The last 4 games they had when they went 3-1, they scored a power play goal in every single game, and that was not the case back when they were losing a lot. So I mean, for both teams, I'm sure it's the case.
Get the power play running again.
You gotta get the power play running again because you're gonna get 2 to 3 power plays a game at least, and like if you can just cash in on one of those, that's an awesome.
Dude, there's
percentage.
no excuse if you have 2 5-on-3 power plays. Pretty much
you need
full
one.
2 minutes.
You
almost
need
2.
One goal. There,
you need
at least.
one goal and not even one goal. 5 shots on net.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking for 5 shots directly on the goalie or on net.
Yeah.
Literally, that's like not happening, and that's why they're not scoring.
Yep.
So I mean, okay, so the goalie situation.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Marty's got some criticism as well based on that. Like, ride the hot hand of Dobish. That should have been he should have started against LA or something.
I saw that tweet that was like, this is the problem when you don't ride the hot goalie. Now you have 2 cold goalies because you're switching them up so much. And Dobish. So this is the problem with Dobish though. He loses a game
in Jersey,
and he's crying afterwards. And so you're like, all right, is he mentally? Where is your goalie if he's crying? That's not like I get he's passionate. He wants to like do well, but like, do you really trust that guy to then go out and play a good game the next day? I don't know. As a coach,
yeah,
in the NHL,
logically, you would. Yeah, and also Monty,
give him a break.
You give him a little break,
but.
You want to give your starting goalie last year just like a vote of confidence. So that's what you do.
I think it's honestly past the point of Monty. I think he's worn out. He's worn out
at this point.
Even before this, though, for me, he's been.
I still have a sliver of hope.
Every game,
I still do.
Every game, there's something that happens, and I'm just like,
okay, well,
right? Am I wrong with Monty?
Listen, when I watch him play, I'm like one of the biggest haters. Okay, like I get it, but I still. I want him to succeed.
Well,
you know,
that's because you're a good fan and a good person. But like,
I actually think the hot hand thing is kind of ridiculous. I think Marty played it as best he could based on the circumstances. Yes, you see your backup goalie kind of like crying out of passion. Yeah, you should put in Monty. You know, not only for the vote of confidence, but just like, to stabilize things. Like he's the leader in this situation, so you kind of look to him to maybe stabilize the goalie situation, which he didn't in LA. And then you like, oh, okay, Monty didn't work. Let's put in Dobish for Dallas.
Now his confidence is
now
shattered.
he's shook. Yeah.
So this is.
But also they didn't. But the thing is, I think the players are failing their goalies.
Yeah. Well, if you don't score,
like more so
15
Dobish,
to 3 goals. 4 against versus 4 is obviously not on the goalies.
Yeah, it's not on the goalies. And yeah, Dobish had let in a couple of weak ones from Dallas, but that team, like, that was one of the worst games of the seasons, if not the worst game of the season against Dallas, just because there was no offense, there was no chances generated, and you let both your goalies down. Dobish was pulled in that one, and then Monty lets in a couple more. So
it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. You need to establish like
the new hook injury shook them for sure.
Yeah.
And that was downhill from there.
The human element of this whole thing is something as like as a Bantam coach, you don't really. I mean, you get the human element of these kids that are playing, but you don't get the if I pull you or if I short shift you. Because I mean, for me, it's like I have 10 players on my team, so it's like
Yeah.
we're just running lines.
Yeah, just run
It's
it.
not like I have to make big decisions about who do I start in net, what lines do I put together. It's really just kind of like I would set this if it we're kind of gonna run with it the whole time. 'Cause we're playing at a lower level than like no, we're not playing top tier, but still, it's just like it's an interesting thing that you don't think about, and like that's a decision that Marty had to make of
Yep.
like who do I play after this game? Dobish has been our guy. Sure, but it was a close game, the one that he lost, and he was blaming himself for it, right? Like the
Yeah.
Devils game was close; it was in overtime, right?
Yeah.
So like you still got a point. For me, that's like keep going with him, right? I mean, this is obviously in hindsight. After what had happened, I would have just kept playing Dobish, but you don't play him. Now he's a little bit rattled. His confidence is rattled. Now he put Monty in. He doesn't play well because he hasn't been playing well all year. And now you're just going back and forth. And it's a two-headed goalie monster. You need to establish
Yeah,
a guy.
I guess I realize you do the 50-50 situation for goalies is not great. You need to have a definitive starting goalie in a way to make
So
that clear.
unless it's just like if you have the Swayman Allmark situation where they love each other and they're like, remember that in Boston?
Yeah,
They were like so
I don't
good.
know if they got the
It happens
bromance going
randomly.
here.
No, but so here's maybe final question for you. Because they can loan one of these guys down to the AHL
Okay, I'm all.
and
I
call
love
up Fowler. Why not?
I think it's too early
Just
for
see.
Fowler.
Just see if he can do it. What if he just catch like it's this year more
You
than
could get lightning in
dude,
the bottle
this
here.
year more than anything, it's young players just grabbing
The opportunity.
their opportunities in the
Yeah.
league. Matt Schaefer's 18. He's lighting the league up. Celebrini, Bedard, they are like top in points.
Not Askarov though. Who's
Goalies
a young
are different.
goalie.
Goalies are different.
That's why. That's exactly why.
I get it.
I'm a little skeptical.
I get it, but like this seems like the time of both our goalies have question marks. We have this guy. Why not see if he can play?
You would if you were to send down a goalie, it'd be obviously Dobish, and that would ruin his confidence even further.
I'm just saying there's a way to do it that you give.
Like Monty,
I think there's a way to do it.
Like you can't send down Monty. It's unfortunate, but you can't send down Monty, and like that's a direct FU to Monty.
Dude, he's been the worst goalie.
I know statistically, you see it. He's been the worst.
Who is
goalie.
their other goalie in the system? Is there anyone else?
We have. I actually don't know who the Laval backup is. It's Fowler. It's
Yeah.
Fowler or nothing at this point.
God.
I think we have another prospect.
I
I'm
don't
just
know,
forgetting
dude.
him.
I just like don't. The state of Canadian goalies is not good, as opposed to except for Hellebuck.
We are bleeding right now, and we got to cover it up as quickly as possible. I don't care if it comes from fixing up the first line, swapping people, putting Demi somewhere else, putting Balduke somewhere else. You know, I'm actually 40% open to having Fowler come up because
40%. Okay.
something does need to happen. If the bleeding continues, if we lose to Columbus tonight and then maybe another loss or two, dude, stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
And I think you do that from making a move like that potentially.
Well, so like, this is where when the Rangers when stuff happens bad to the Rangers, it's always I kind of want it to get worse so that a move like that is made.
I don't want it to get worse.
Yeah.
I want it to get back to where we were in the beginning.
It was working, but I just think that this is a big goalie hurdle that you have to get over. And I don't know what would you do?
I don't know, because now we have the offensive hurdle is back.
Who do you play this week? What do you think the goalie situation is going to be? You play Columbus tonight, I think.
I hope Dobish is in tonight.
Okay. And then?
I think Monty played against Boston. So, yeah, I hope Dobish is in tonight.
Okay, and then you play
I think
Thursday
it's on the offense
against
and
the
defense.
Capitals.
We need to shut down the offense and defense to be more consistent. I think the players are letting down the goalies for these games.
And then you play
except for Monty. Sometimes Monty.
Next Saturday, Leafs at your home.
Oh.
Who plays? Who's been better against the Leafs? Do you have anyone?
Dude,
It's tough.
I would put in Dobish.
I would try to make Dobish the
I
guy.
would put in Dobish.
Yeah.
I would try to make Dobish to get most of the starts at this point. Monty's lost the privilege to get most of the starts.
I agree.
So that much I could agree on. I don't agree with getting rid of him, but I will agree that he should take much less of the starts. Unless he could get his leg fixed from his injury last year, he hasn't played up to his form last year. And Dobish is a young gun right now. Yeah, he's got some passion in him and, some things to work out mentally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got the talent. He's got the vigor in him. And there's a reason why he's, a Calder favorite right now. Because he has shut the door on big names last year and this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think the team just crapped the bed this week, just offensively and defensively speaking. They just got shook with the injuries, and their confidence is down right now, and they need to find a way to bring it up. And hopefully these young guys coming in from Laval could, give them a little boost in terms of, give them the old youthful, like first time in the NHL type of vigor. Yeah. Well, I would be lying to say I'm kind of I would be lying to say if I wasn't lukewarm on tonight's game, because Columbus is a toss up. We sometimes win, sometimes lose to them, and with their confidence low, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they bounce back though, because they're bleeding hard right now.
True. Rangers and Canadians have the same amount of points. Rangers have played.
How is that possible?
We've played 2 more games. So we have 20, you guys have 18, and because we don't lose on the road. But we are both at 22 points. So something to keep in mind as we keep going. We're going like crossing each other.
Dude, we had such a good start.
Newhook
was having such a
lot
great
of games
year.
left. A lot of games left.
No, but Newhook.
Yeah.
I know. I
4 months though, he could be back.
I gave him so much crap because I see the potential is like he is talented. He just wasn't finishing, and now he was finishing.
Yeah, dude,
and then he gets a crappy injury like this.
It happens. All right.
Just only for us.
Yeah, no, it happens for us too, dude. Like Philip Hedl was like always the potential was
you
so
traded him
important.
away.
Yeah, because he just kept getting hurt. This is what happens. All right, I think that's our episode. Anything else?
He's not like Newhook.
Anything else?
I want to pop a picture of Newhook in his, like he had like a bear, like what you remember that picture I sent you? He got like player of the game and he was like shirtless.
Like a bear helmet?
It was like a bear helmet or something.
Great.
He's a personality as well in our locker room.
Yeah, glue guy. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's like Trocheck. Now he's back though. Rangers are winning. It's huge.
Yeah.
All right, that's our episode for the week. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we have multiple wins on both sides. And thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.